In Black Friday the Remix, I took a DNA test with African ancestry. It was revealed that my identity dates back to the Akan tribe in Ghana, West Africa. Join me as I tour with Sankofa Journey in search of my living legacy before slavery.
My name is Justice Kwabena Aqua, yes, and I'll be your tour guide.
I'm in a state of anticipation right now.
And historically, this land changed hands about 5 times among the Europeans. The Europeans fought among themselves for this land. They knew very well that whoever occupies this land controls the gold and the slave trade. And when you control the trade, the basic thing is you will make money. There's a church on top of this dungeon. So to them, it was more like their conscience was clear. Oh, God approves of what we are doing here, so I'm not doing anything bad.
Was that like heaven and hell?
On earth, yes, it also showed heaven and hell, because if you find yourself there, and I bet you it was more than hell in the male slave dungeon. Around the 1800s, this business got to its peak. And I do say that capitalism evolved as a result of this trade, the transatlantic slave trade. So now businesses and enterprises ventured into this business. We can also say for a fact that some businesses exist today as a result of the slave trade. In North America, I can talk about JP Morgan. I can talk about Barclays Bank. I can talk about Bank of America. I can talk about Bank of England, Lloyds Bank, and I can even talk about Wall Street in New York.
Our history is literally the untold story of American history.
We are the economic foundation of America.
We're here on the corner of Broad and Wall Street. There was a wall that ran down this street.
We were literally the first stock on the New York Stock Exchange.
Wall Street started as an auction for slaves. There's a port closer to Wall Street, so captives from Africa were taken to Wall Street where they were auctioned. And apart from that, there were stockbrokers who owned slaves, so they could lease out their slaves to planters or to miners.
When you go back to Confederate money before the Civil War, you will actually see pictures of black people picking cotton on the money. Black people, you on the money. Everybody realizes your value but you. The entire economic foundation of the United States of America, then and now, is based on us.
It was a Black Friday. I remember when the drama began. Another day of aggressive shopping. Tempers flare, so many victims dropping. That's why I call it Black Lie Day. Another way to get caught up like dope. Prices are lower, so you spend more, now you're broke. Used to have faith, but now it's useless, lost hope. Now it's a black every day. Everything gonna be okay. I'm buying black, my only means is to make a way. My only business is capitalizing. Now it's a Black Friday.
My name is Kennedy Stewart, a 10-year-old entrepreneur, owner of 3 companies. Butterfly Diamond Trillionaires, where people can buy my products and services and book me for motivational speaking events. Fashionpreneur, where I create medical technology bracelets for kids around the world. K's Inc., where I mentor kids to become future entrepreneurs.
Wall Street owns the country. It is no longer a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, but a government of Wall Street, by Wall Street, and for Wall Street.
Wall Street, New York, baby, financial district. As we educate and empower the masses about money, how to get it, how to grow it, and how not to blow it. Come on now. There's so many people right here, especially minorities, black people here right in New York City, not realizing the power of where we stand. Right now I stand here on Wall Street. And a lot of times people don't even understand we were brought here, okay? We were brought here and we were sold and we were slaves here.
Most black women never consider that history is shaping their money.
If you look around, there are thousands and thousands of businesses here and people working 9 to 5. You're still a slave.
So when it comes to black women and self-worth, a lot of us are still making what I call self-esteem money. Self-esteem money is the money you would pay you based on what you think you are worth.
You have not mastered the idea that you don't have to be here and work for someone. You can be here and make the millions of dollars. When I first came down to Wall Street, I said, I'm going to make my first $1 million here.
We all, I believe, have an empire living within us. It's about how we learn to develop, grow, and honor those gifts and know that they are worthy, not just to be praised, but to be paid.
What my prayer is for us is that you and I, my sister in success, that we stop putting our money on us and we start putting our money in us. When we learn how to be our own best thing, when we learn how to invest, when we learn how to save, when we learn how to monetize versus serve, instead of giving all our time to the church or to that sorority or to that PTA group, we start investing that time in your dream.
Women, we are natural caregivers, but I think as we think about economic growth and financial sustainability, we have to begin to learn to use our gifts to build businesses.
In 2009, I walked away from my 9-to-5 job and tried my hand at entrepreneurship. I found myself right down here on Wall Street. And let me tell you, it was no easy task. I remember driving home to the Bronx every day crying and in tears, feeling like I should just give up and I don't want to be here because it was hard.
We are an economic superpower. We are that. And I think if we begin to hone and develop our financial literacy and understand that we are not just consumers, but we are creators. You know, we are inventors and we are business people.
This is a wonderful time in human history to be a black woman entrepreneur.
So I'm happy to share my story, and I'm happy to share and encourage anyone that's trying to do their own thing in the entrepreneurial world. Just keep pushing, keep striving, because you're going to make it.
I believe with every ounce of blood in my body that it's going to be the healed black woman who transforms the world.
What if I told you that I have 7 practical principles that can open the door to eternal wealth? But before you can open that door, you need something very special. And you know what it's called? A key. And that key can only be found knowing your identity, knowing who you are.
Since the beginning of time, the black woman has been the jewel of the planet. We travel to Spain where thousands still pay homage to her daily. Join me as we go in search of the Black Madonna. We're looking for the Black Madonna. You know the Black Madonna?
One moment.
Yep.
Ellas habla
Ellas. But I'm looking for the Black Madonna. Do you know the Black Madonna here?
Black Madonna.
You don't know the Black Madonna?
No, Black Madonna.
They told me it's here in Barcelona.
In Barcelona.
You don't know?
No.
Oh, so I'm trying to find it. Trying to find the Black Madonna. Do y'all know what Black Madonna is?
No.
You don't know what the Black Madonna is? I got these people. See, she don't know what the Black Madonna is either.
Ah, you have to know.
We're going up now, and we can't stop. We're going up now, and we don't stop. We're going up now, and we can't stop.
I'm looking for the Black Madonna. Do you know what the Black Madonna is? You know what the Black Madonna is? Where's the Black Madonna?
Wake up in the morning, yawning, trying to get up from this power nap. I only been asleep for 30 minutes. My son is hopping on me, saying they want Captain Crunch. Their mama went to get her hair done.
Looking for the Monster Rat.
Okay, all right. I'm up, let's get some breakfast.
We got the ticket to go see the Black Madonna.
Episodes on Tivo, let's see what's up with my people. Bad Girls Club, women in the house, busting and busting.
Yes.
Change the channel for this little kaleidoscope. We can watch something better, I'm hoping. So I change the channel over to Real Housewives. And I wonder what we own.
That's where the Black Madonna is?
No, that's where the train is, and it will take you to the Black Madonna.
Oh, gotcha.
Situations reverse. Looking at the TV, I feel like wearing a curse. Go on the internet and I'm seeing that it is worse. Some young lady showing their body on World Star Eye Candy of the week, freaking hoping and seeking to find a ball player, rapper, or hustler to live comfortable. Whatever happened to being like Claire Huxtable? First we have to love ourselves to escape the mayhem. So many unhappy with the body that God gave them. Then you switch it up, silicone, stick it up, nose job, Botox, it's like getting new shoes. How you keep it true, look in the mirror and it ain't you. Hypnotized by perception, monkey see, monkey do. Being married was the root to keeping our families together. But now with the distorted, divorce is common as ever. And I'm not being modest when I tell you you're a goddess. A queen straight away from a throne, look what it got us. As men, we hate to admit it, but we're stranded without you. We act grown, but a good woman is our backbone. Let's keep it up. Gotta get up from where we started. The only way is up. Can't go back to where we started. Let's keep it up. Oh, the only way is up.
The black woman's value has been reduced to thoughts, gold diggers, and charmers.
How do you take the people that gave the world reading and writing and language and literature, architecture, engineering, agriculture, astronomy, science and technology, but then convince them that they're nothing but a race of pimps, players, criminals, and thugs?
As African Americans, we are suffering from identity theft.
When we were taken from the shores of West and Central Africa and brought to the Americas, we lost everything.
It's our God, our land, our language, everything that makes us a culture. It was taken away from us.
And so when you think about those elements, that's how you define who you are.
Not only have we stolen your identity, but we've come in to say you are a cursed group of people.
Black people were stripped of the way to even be proud of their ethnic background.
And yet, to this day, you may not be aware of who you really are. You're still placing your identity in things that ultimately is making my family richer.
So mentally, we gotta stop being slaves. And financially, we gotta understand that we gotta take control of our destiny.
If Europeans returned the first thing to you that they stole from you, they would return you to you.
That black seed is life itself. It's the origin, it's the beginning, it's the alpha, and it's the omega.
Because who you are is greater than what you wear. Who you are is greater than what you drive.
Your title means nothing, it's just a label. That's not who you truly are.
Who you are is God's chosen people.
You see, the world knows that we the gods and goddesses. It's just that we need to get introduced back to ourselves.
We have to get to this place where we are consumed with being the person that we say we are. And in order to do that, we have to lose our minds. Losing your mind is losing the part of you that was created in your upbringing.
That even though they said, okay, we're abolishing slavery, there was still a mindset that had been created that, you know, quite honestly still hurt African Americans.
And this influences your economic empowerment. This influences the type of institutions you build, the type of businesses you build, who you decide to spend your dollars with, and why.
And we never had any mental, physical, or social therapy. You understand what I'm saying? And so we're still going in this cyclical cycle.
Because the mindset was, you know, as long as I got a roof over my head and food on my table, I'm gonna be all right.
We should not have to tell black folk to spend your money with black folk. And the mere fact that we have to do that is an indication of how lost we are.
The first Americans were African people, and the original Native Americans were African people as well.
If we knew who we are, we'd say, wow, okay, that's to be expected for the world to recognize who and what we are before we do.
So if you don't understand your history, and you don't understand the different names you had throughout history, you won't understand how to find yourself in history.
My white family has stolen your legacy. Your legacy is your culture, it's your heritage, it's your value, and it's your identity.
This was our land stolen from us. We were here before all these other people came here.
You are the real Hebrews. Because if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, it explains it very clearly.
If we really understood how great we are, our entire position in the world would change right now.
We have such a critical need to be properly identified to ourselves.
And that is why my white family has done everything in their power for over 400 years almost now to steal and to take away that identity of who you are, which then eliminates your legacy and your history.
As a result of our identity being stolen, we have been programmed to wear our wealth and show it in what we drive and where we live.
So in our community, we got people who have capital, that's the money, and then there's some who have consciousness, that's the mentality. And the two groups of people tend to argue with one another.
I don't want to feel like a guest in my home. This is my home. I like America. I like shiny things.
We are so caught up in the white folks' dream with the BMWs, the Audis, the Mercedes-Benz. We're losing ourselves.
I feel like because of my African roots, I'm able to conquer America. Barack Obama did not give me my American dream, and Donald Trump is not going to take my American dream away from me.
I'm not African American. My ancestors come from Africa. You don't see Chinese people say I'm Chinese American. You don't see Dominicans say I'm Dominican American. They say I'm Dominican, I'm Chinese, I'm Puerto Rican, and that's it. I'm African, and that's it.
Well, I think one of the reasons that they don't say that is because, you know, most of the Chinese came here by choice.
Unlike the Chinese and the Portuguese and the other people, my ancestors built this place. That's right. We built it. So I declare America is mine. We're not visitors here. We're not the Chinese. We built this place. This place was founded right here. We built the original wall. We were the first commodity sold. America would not be America if it wasn't for us. So I'm an American, African American.
If you ask the average African American how many races they are made up of, they will say 3 to 4. I know with me, I have African, Indian, Syrian, Cuban, and European. Since my DNA is comprised of all these different races, that makes me a part of a super race. No wonder I always feel like I'm Superwoman. Everybody, we're hanging out, and we're going to be interviewing different people about what they think on America and money. Come on with me, let's see what they're going to say. My first question to you is it racist to put your race first?
Well, I think honestly in this day and time, no.
No, I don't believe it's racist to put your race first.
Absolutely not.
Is it racist to put your race first?
No, it's not racist. That's what you're supposed to do.
You know, if it's coming from a white man, absolutely not. But if it's coming from a different race, then yes.
Everybody else puts themselves first, so it's very important for us to put ourselves first.
It's not racist to put your race first. It's common sense.
When we are always expecting for other people to put us first, but we don't even put ourselves first, how can we expect for other people to take us seriously?
All other races put their race first. Everybody does it, okay? So if nobody else is gonna do it, then we could look at them and say, well, they're not doing it, so we're not gonna do it.
Even if you look at the animal kingdom, you understand? If you look at rabbits, they don't put squirrels before their own rabbits.
To answer your question, I don't think it's racist to put your race first.
Everybody said the same thing, haven't they?
Is it racist to put your race first?
Yes,
Why?
because everyone's equal.
To me, I think that all races are equal. We all bleed red. We're all the same. We're under, one nation.
There is no difference between black man and between white man, between Arab people and your people. We are all humans,
People shouldn't look at race, they should just look at people. And a lot of people look at race, and I do think that that's racist.
I don't think it's racist to put yourself first.
If I'm putting my race first, it's because I think my race is better than yours. So that is kind of being racist.
We're all the same. We're all part of a spectrum. A color is just a color. I love all colors. Ask me my favorite color, it's impossible.
Doing a documentary and we're interviewing people, and you look, awesome. There's no way to explain it today. Is it okay if we ask you a few questions? My first question is it racist to put your race first?
No.
That's a really good question.
It's racist if you don't put your race first.
Why do you think Trump says we're going to make America great again? He's going to make it white again. He's putting white America first.
So to put race first is almost like a defensive shield that says, okay, you're going to pinpoint me for being this, so I am this.
This is my favorite question of this particular film. Is it racist to put your race first?
I'm trying really hard to think about my answer.
Yeah, it is, but I'm okay with that. Because I know if a white person did it, I'll be like, racist! I'm like, you know what, fine, today I'm a racist.
We're so worried about being, categorized a certain way, or white folks get mad at us, that literally they fool us into playing the game in a way that nobody else is playing the game.
Is it racist to put your race first? I don't even know what that really means.
For black people, we're kind of the only ones who really never got the memo.
What does that mean? What does it mean to put your blackness first?
What I would just say to people who feel that there's something wrong with black people putting ourselves first is I would ask them, are y'all putting black people first?
In most of the places that I've lived and roamed, we did not have a presence. So it's kind of hard for me to say I'm going to put my black sisters and brothers first when that wasn't even an option.
You have to put your race first because that's like not putting your family first.
Us whites have put our race first since this country began.
White people ain't saving black people. That white people ain't even thinking about black people.
Who's putting black people? Somebody's got to put black people first.
Do you know who white people are thinking about? They're thinking about white people. They're thinking about their husbands, their wives, their children, their neighborhoods, their businesses.
If anybody, why not have black people put black people first?
And that's who they should be thinking about first. That's who Asians are thinking about. That's who Hispanics are thinking about. And I don't consider that to be racist.
That's why you had neighborhoods that were only for whites. That's why you had a drinking fountain here that were for whites only, and a drinking fountain here that I won't even let my dog drink from.
I am a racialist. I see the world through race. There are some people who are feminists. They see the world through gender. There are other people who are economists. They see the world through money.
Take care of your home, your community, your family first. I mean, that's just common sense.
One day a sister came to the counter, she had a pile of books. I was very happy about that. But I said, well, do you have any children? And she said, yeah, I do, I have a son. I said, well, I don't see anything for him. She said, well, he's so bad, he makes everything fight. I give him anything, he's just gonna make him fight. He don't wanna read no books. I said, well, it's your responsibility to let him know what he wants to read. But I have this book and I know he's gonna love it. So she said, no, I don't have money for that. I said, okay, sister, take the book, Bright Eyes, Brown Skin. Take the book, put the baby on your lap and try to read it to him and see what happened. Before my store could close, she said, I went home, I was trying to catch you before you left. I went home, I put the baby on my lap, and he looked at the book and said, Mommy, Daddy, me. Wow. And sat there. Now this is a baby who wouldn't sit for a book. Our children have to see themselves. We have to make sure that we make our children see themselves. It is not racist. I don't think we're in a position to be racist, but we have to be pro-black. We have to open businesses. Who is going to employ our people? Aren't we tired of marching for jobs? Aren't we tired of begging for jobs when we're spending all the money in this country? It's outrageous. So we gotta figure out, my brothers and sisters, how we're gonna fix it. And we have to fix it. We have to start with our children, and we have to love each other and ourselves enough to know that we're not racist because we love ourselves.
We're excited to be right here once again at Wilborn Sister Designs, and my fabulous stylist right here today is Miss Kennedy. It's been fabulous, huh?
Now dazzle them.
Yeah, so we're gonna walk.
It is my birthday weekend, and Mr. Rick surprised me with the most fantabulous gift ever. The Yugo Glam Makeup Bus. It is so fantabulous. It has chandeliers, sparkles, pumping music playing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It is awesome. I can't wait to finish styling Miss Janice.
All of my beautiful makeup was done by Miss Kennedy herself today, right here in the glam truck. You all saw it earlier.
And you guys, all of this is not just to show for fakeness or anything. She is already gorgeous as you saw her from the first part. This is just enhancing her beautifulness.
Wow.
So we're not putting on makeup to cover up our face, right?
Right.
We're not putting on makeup to make us look like somebody in Hollywood, right?
Right.
And we're not dressing you for anybody. Who are we dressing you for?
For the lady of today, Wilborn Sister Designs.
We're just enhancing what you've already got. What you just saw before is Fabulous Beach. And now,
all right.
Now, start from the beginning and strut your stuff, please.
Okay.
Principle number 1, follow your dollar. Okay, Mr. Cleveland, how do you follow your dollar?
I try to make sure that every opportunity I have to spend a dollar, I can at least look for somebody black.
When I follow my dollar, I'm thinking about, number one, how do I preserve my dollar and how do I hold on to my dollar?
Where's the power that I can get from these dollars?
And then when I spend my dollar, I'm thinking about who I'm giving it to.
If you're gonna buy a car, a house, or what have you, make sure you're getting it from a black person.
And every time you give away your money, you're giving away some of your power.
They say a fool and his money will soon part because they think about money foolishly. A fiscal steward would always know when and with whom his money is being spent.
First of all, we have to reprioritize the way that we feel about money. How do we think about money? What kind of relationship we are in with money?
I have an accounting book that I write in. I don't leave it to my accountant. I don't leave it to a computer. I write down where every dollar goes.
When I bought my first home when I was 22, that's what I did. I had to track what I was making and what I was spending in order for me to save the down payment to purchase that home.
My mentor, Mr. Moody, taught me that. He was like, David Banner, you can't become wealthy without a plan.
You write down every dollar you spend, every dollar you receive, and you allocate where it goes.
Give your dollars marching orders. Tell them what to do.
And be aware of your relationship with money. And if money could say something about you, what would money say?
A lot of people are concerned about what's going on in the White House. I say, don't worry about what's going on in the White House. Worry about what's going on in your house.
Cash is king, credit is queen, every single day of the week.
You're gonna have to save and you're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to have insurance.
You got a $200 cable bill, you got a $200 cell phone bill, but you can't put $50 to $60 on your life insurance.
There's something called the whole life policy, and so I have a good understanding of what that is now.
We're making sure that we have investments in place, that we're thinking about things like retirement, that we have our life insurance in order.
A policy that grows with your children and you as you go on in your life. So I'll have something for my grandchildren and children and me for college and them for college in the future.
That means that you have to actually plan your estates.
And when you do that, the Trumps of this world and all the drama that's going on does not matter.
Our motto is capitalism, the only true pathway to freedom.
Being an entrepreneur, I've had to follow all of my dollars, including my quarters, nickels, and pennies.
First, you have to be conscious of the fact that your mind is being conditioned to buy.
So if you have $1,000 and you go out and spend $100 on some tennis shoes or whatever the case is, that's okay. Just make sure that the other $800-900 is not spent that way.
All of the things you see in your environment tell you to buy. Even borrow it if you don't have it, to buy. If you can't borrow it, to steal it and buy.
We should arrest our dollars, charge them with benign neglect, and sentence them to years and years of hard labor for us.
Cheddar Cheese, what you talking about over here, man?
Mr. Ryan, I'm trying to give some love to my big Cheddar Cheese video. That's my video, Cheddar Cheese video. CheddarCheeseVideo.com. Believe it or not. Poof.
He said the new China.
No, we don't. Hey, anybody want to try
That's China, man.
Cheddar Cheese. Anybody try to rip you up, tell them, hey, you bought from China. You don't buy no China material.
Yeah, okay.
You try to bring China, then nah, we don't do that.
Y'all don't buy from China? Why you don't buy from China?
Because China material is what we call it, bootleg. American people call it bootleg. They bring some, it's counterfeit, fake. You know what I'm saying?
Principle number 2, value your time.
We're on a street called Kings Highway. Later I'm going to show you a poster that called my brother and I the Kings of Kings Highway. And you'll see why, because as we drive down I'm going to point out various ownership properties that we own. Now, we're coming up on a street and I'm going to have you take a look at that sign right there above Aldi's. See what it says? All right, what's up?
If we all have the same 24 hours a day, then what are you doing with yours? Some people are taking those 24 hours and launching $1 million businesses.
I don't waste my time, so I value my time.
We're taught to sell our time by the hour.
And I put games together for myself. What's a touchdown for my life?
Time is one of our most precious resources. It's with our time that we create things of value.
I had a big touchdown. I wanted to do $1 million in one day. And that was a touchdown for me. And I got that touchdown too.
Awesome. I love that. I think I'm going to start doing that as well.
He's my boss, yeah? Nice man.
When Sears decided he was going to move out of the black communities, my brother and I took sort of a position that we just can't let this 200,000 square foot building become, a model for drugs and pestilence and things of that nature.
So if you don't set goals so that you can say to yourself, I'm doing $1,000 a day, then you probably will never realize that. Most millionaires have already realized that.
We have such a mixed use here at the facility. The name Victor Roberts is my dad. We named it after him because after he left the post office after 39 years, he came and joined us and he helped us build our company. Every day when you wake up, you're given 86,400 seconds. That's 24 hours. And within that time period, You either use it or you lose it. And the moment you think of the moment, it's already gone.
This is the moment. And you've got to be in that moment in making money. You have to make sure that you put your stamp and your mark on your life and your time.
And when I looked at it like that, and I looked at the fact that I had 8,760 hours in a year, that showed me how much time I had to do anything I wanted to do.
I hear a lot of actors when I'm in movies and stuff, man, I hate sitting around and wait. If y'all want to pay me to sit around in this trailer, I'm gonna sit around all day. But when it's time to go, it's either overtime or I'm gone.
All right, it's your boy, Dr. David Anderson. You know the flavor, you know the routine. It's Black Friday Part 2. And right now, we at 766 East Confederate. What we're doing here is we're getting ready to start a rehab, what they call a reno.
In our community, we've got to own, we've got to dominate, and we've got to control.
A lot of people come in here and say, oh, this place is a mess. You know, here's $5,000. But this land that we on is very valuable, man. When folks can go across the street and they look, you go to Zillow and check this out. $500,000 they selling houses between the low end $450,000 to $550,000.
In order for us to build empowerment, build black economics, we've got to become owners.
For everybody that's watching this movie, like this looks real crazy right now. Like you know, I'm looking outside, like I'm looking up at the stars and stuff at night. You know what I'm saying? There's a big old hole in the ground.
If you want to stop gentrification, buy the block. All right, use that as a hashtag. Hashtag buy the block. Let's start trending that.
And this is the same hood, the same houses. We done been J-rated. The J's done came in here and took everything of any kind of value out the house, right? So we basically got to rebuild it. But it's ours, man.
But let's buy back this block, the building, the houses. Let's take over, let's own, let's dominate.
We here in ATL, living out Malcolm's dream, living out Martin's dream, living out Elijah Muhammad's dream, living out Garvey's dream, and that's unifying and empowering our people, especially around economics.
You have a lot of issues happening in Southwest Atlanta, a whole lot. And so we decided to put our minds together, put our money together, and we purchased the old Club Nicky's. And for those of you from Atlanta, you know exactly what the old Club Nicky's is.
If we're really about nation building and uplifting our people, we gotta bring our message, our education, our empowerment, our information, our strategies, our techniques, our inspiration, and everything else to our people on the corners.
There's a homeless person who has made this their home. Usually a business owner come in and say, you know what, they gotta go. They gotta go. But what I'm doing, I'm giving them my personal cell number, letting them know I'm the new owner, and I'm gonna put this right here, hoping that they come back, see it, and give me a call, because I wanna make sure that they're helped and we can address the issues of homelessness.
So this Black Friday, we're gonna save our money and keep them out them stores, and we're gonna own some more doors. We're gonna go buy this real estate, we're gonna own and not be owned, because we had enough of that.
If people can get on a boat and come to this country and excel, there is no reason why the people who built this country can do the exact same thing. So if you love us, buy your block.
Let's huddle up, let's get our ish together. Like, let's stop being last. Let's stop being the most degraded. Let's stop being the poorest. Let's stop being the single family homes. I want to thank everybody for coming out. ATL, make some noise. Yeah. Black Friday 2.
United States will not be as powerful as it is without sacrifice. Unfortunately, it was our sacrifice. The whole sheer size of the burial ground, 2 blocks in every direction, is the size of the burial ground. There's probably more than 15,000 graves here. There are more people buried beneath your feet. But power now sits over the very people that built this place. Power. This building in particular, the FBI, the IRS, every government agency that you could think of, courts included, all sit over the burial ground. The very people who built this city, power sits over them now.
And I believe that this is a piece of the history that most people do not know. I know I did not even think that there were slaves to this magnitude in New York City. Absolutely. It was always perceived that it was just mainly South.
Absolutely, right.
So
That's what I thought.
you're talking about in New York, where a bulk of the power is in the United States, and everything that is powerful is built on top of us.
It was the economy of the South, the agricultural economy of the South,
that made the United States the economic powerhouse that it is today. It was cotton. If it wasn't for cotton, the United States would be a third world country.
Wow.
So these folks know that.
Wow. You are extracting their labor to enrich your colonies, to enrich yourself.
One of the other things that's important about this whole financial aspect of money are two terms, being in the black and being in the red.
From 1619 to 1865, there were at least 262 skills, trades, and crafts that African people had in this country.
If you're in the business of selling African people, you're in the black. You're making money off of selling black people. Now, when those enslaved Africans died or were thrown overboard, that death is symbolic of the color red. So if you lose your merchandise, then you are in the red. You are making a loss.
So when they tell the story, they try to make us think that we were just cotton pickers and we just took care of the master's children and cooked his food. But no, we were engineers, we were engine builders, we were blacksmiths, coppersmiths.
Was America built for all races to succeed? Have you seen the Republican cabinet lately? Have you looked at what they did?
America was built for rich, white males to succeed.
And designed to hold people who look like me back.
Look, I'm telling you, if we don't watch out, we're gonna go backwards and we're gonna be picking cotton, slinging cane, because America was not designed for you.
America wasn't even built for poor white people to succeed.
It was never built for us.
I think America was built for all races to succeed.
America was stolen.
It's not necessarily practiced that way, but it certainly was built, and it was built on the practices that all races can succeed.
Was America built for all races to succeed?
Yes. Yes, of course.
No, it was not. No, it was not. No, it was not. No, it was not.
Why?
Found our Constitution.
When the founders wrote the Constitution, it was to protect what they owned and their money.
America was not built for the success of all.
It wasn't about poor white people. It wasn't about black people.
Frankly, it was built for the folks who came over here claiming that they discovered the place.
Christopher Columbus went and stole from them and just kind of like took a label and put it there and called it America.
Every law that they say is something bad, that's what they did to establish America.
What it was built upon is actually theft.
What was the mindset of those people that built America?
Was it built for the Native Americans to succeed? Was it built for Africans to succeed?
The way everything was phrased, they made it certainly seem like it, and I don't think that the way it's been executed has been done correctly in any way, shape, or form.
You had mutiny among poor whites and poor blacks working together to overthrow master. This is why they said, wait a minute, we gotta change this. Let's give them an acre of land and make them the overseers, AKA the first police over black people.
And nothing in our Constitution or nothing in our laws were ever meant for a black person to succeed equally with a white person.
Now, if you somehow get a conscience, like Colin Kaepernick, and start questioning things about the American canon and the American narrative of freedom and justice and equality, then you are no longer of economic interest to them, and they will take you out the picture.
We over here networking in Mexico, you know, we changing the whole paradigm as far as thoughts, as far as what people are thinking about Mexico. They talk about cartel and all that stuff on CNN. We out here kicking it with our people, man. They showing mad love. Everybody's asking, hey, how are you young black guys able to do it and overcome? You know what I'm saying? The thing is, it's in you, but you got to get over those little barriers that they try to place on you. Once you break those barriers, there's no limits. Just an ATLian out here in, you know, Cabo, about to see these pyramids, man. See if I can beam out, man. Woo. This right here is architecture that came from Africa that spread all the way to America, way pre-existing Columbus. But they try to hide that. But right here is living proof.
So we climbed to the top of the pyramid, and you won't believe what was waiting for us up top. A rainbow. Yes, a rainbow.
So, at the end of the day, when you really look at it, our people left a living legacy all over the world.
Principle number 3, invest in you.
Hey, I'm Chef Aki, CEO of Delicious Indigenous Foods, and we are in Martha's Vineyard.
One of my friends told me, if black people don't start eating right, how can you expect them to think right?
If you wake up in the morning, you start with a nice cup of lemon water, some nice tea, ginger tea or something like that, just to kind of get your blood flowing, detox your digestive system, which is super important. And then from there, you can do something really quick. You can eat salad for breakfast. Today we're doing salad. We did an avocado toast on rye, 10 minutes, super simple.
Your body is your machine. Your body is your temple. You know, we spend more money on the outside of our body, putting clothes on it and purses on it. One girl, I remember I was talking to a girl one time. She said, organic food costs so much money. I said, girl, look at that damn purse. Yeah, a Louis Vuitton purse, she spent $1,000 on that purse.
One of the things that Dick Gregory taught me was that to be wealthy, you have to walk wealthy and sleep wealthy.
I've seen many people who spend lots of money on material things. And when you go in their cabinets, it's all best value, the lowest quality food that's out there.
In other words, your shoes should be made in such a way that they give you energy. Don't buy cheap shoes because you're standing on your feet most of the days. Don't buy a cheap mattress because you're in the bed, at least 6 to 8 hours.
So we got to recognize that when we're making choices about the way we're feeding ourselves and our family, that's also a financial choice. Health is a business. It's a booming business.
And in order to be wealthy, you must be healthy.
So Popeye was trying to tell us way back then, what do superheroes eat? But there was much more to that Popeye story than a lot of people are even aware of. For one, Popeye had a girlfriend. Remember her name? Well, I remember her name, and also I remember she wasn't heavy. In fact, she was not only light, she was super light. And she never had any children. They had Sweet Pea, but Sweet Pea was not hers. In fact, as much as Brutus tried to get at her, Olive Oyl had been untouched. So her full name might have been Extra Light Virgin Olive Oyl. That was Popeye's girlfriend. And then of course the baby, who nobody seemed to know who the parents of the baby was called Sweet Pea. And then of course there were other characters there. There was Brutus. We know Brutus had to be a meat eater, because can't nobody else gonna have that funky an attitude unless they eating some carnage, some carnivore food. So Brutus had to have been a carnivore. In fact, the only other one who we definitely know what he ate, because his tagline told us what he ate: I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. And what was his name? They called him Wimpy. Now imagine, they call you Wimpy. That's how the whole world knows you as Wimpy, and all you eat is hamburgers. Sounds to me like hamburgers might be a plot to take the man out of manhood. Popeye was trying to tell us that 70 years ago.
Principle number 4, but collaboration beats competition.
Collaboration beats competition. And the facility that we're standing in front of right now is the Runway Curl Salon Suites, which is us collaborating with stylists, because we're gonna have 40 owners in this facility.
Not only is it a project, it's also a solution to a problem. So this actually gives, different stylists who ask me all the time, how can I join the team? That's what this creates. It creates that collaboration.
That's how you grow.
It's very important in Jewish law that Jews support their own community. What does that mean? It means if there is a store owned by Jews, or a store owned by non-Jews, and they're selling the same things, ideally, you should be giving your money to the Jewish store.
The idea of supporting your own is something that everybody in the world understands except for us.
It sounds a little like, oh, well, what does it matter? It does matter.
If black people don't buy from themselves, Asian people ain't buying from us, Arab people ain't buying from us, the Greeks ain't buying from us.
The Torah tells us, even if you're going to pay 1/6 more, it's better to purchase from the Jewish owner.
If we shifted our buying dynamics, we could purchase our freedom overnight.
Because no one else is going to support the Jewish community except for the Jews, even if it's going to cost us a little bit more.
As long as we and the rest of the race spend 97% of our money with other races, it doesn't matter how much money we earn.
Yeah.
The race will still be broke.
We must continue to redirect higher and higher portions of our dollars within our own community. That will strengthen our community.
So the next time you decide, am I going to buy this or am I going to buy that? Even if it's a little bit more, choose your family.
Principle number 5, buy black, sell to everyone.
We must buy black, but we must sell to anybody.
Every single dime that you spend is either a dime for your oppression or a dime for black liberation.
I can be black power all day. If I'm not making no money, then it don't matter.
The only color that really matters in America is green.
We got to get our own business back. Put our money back in our race instead of taking to all the other races. But until we do that there, we're going to always struggle.
Well, I definitely agree, but you buy black, but sell to your own people.
Selling to everybody's fine as long as you don't sell out. The question is, what are you selling? Are you selling a product or are you selling your soul?
Buying black is gonna help us on a whole level that we can't even understand. Cause we so used to hating on each other and not supporting one another that we can't even conceptualize how much it's gonna empower us financially. We're gonna feel good when we like, wow, I don't view my brother as my competition. I don't view my brother as someone I wanna kill or steal from or hate on. So buying black is definitely what we gotta do. I think that's number 1.
Principle number 6, become a global citizen and use technology to build and grow your brand.
Hey everybody, Laditra here. Remember me from the Black Friday remix? I'm back. And the last time I was with you, we were doing ambushes. Remember from the proceeds of the books that I've written, I was going in and sewing into small businesses. Very recently, we did our second small business contest, giving away $15,000.
I'm the grand prize winner of the $15,000 small business contest giveaway. So what we're about to do is call one of our lovely representatives. What were you wanting to do with Kim Yans International in Uganda?
Basically, I want to distribute them and to the people. I got that opportunity that I can distribute them and give them out. And also, I have a market of Kim News International here in Uganda.
Doing business in Africa was like, when I was living there, was like being on the moon.
And we thank you for spearheading our marketing in Uganda.
You can do business globally, basically with just a cell phone.
The cell phone has literally turned the world into a village.
Now with technology, you're not only able to discuss this information, you're actually able to see it.
There are a lot of manufacturing companies here in America, but you can bet the backdoor business is in China. The front door may say in America, but the back door is going to say China.
By producing my bracelets in China, I now have a larger profit margin that I can then utilize to employ more people that look like me, employ my community.
We have to start acting locally and thinking globally as global citizens.
Hi, my name is Maïve Rosa. I am the owner and founder of Really Shop USA, and I am a global citizen.
At my school, we're learning Spanish because the world is becoming a global society.
I am Sister Nandi.
And I am Glenn Gilkey.
The owners of Rap-A-Lot. And we are global citizens.
You're live in South Africa. We're so excited. Yay! Let's talk a little bit about global business and how the internet has really made a big world to become one village where we can connect with people from all over the world. If you're not doing global business, you need to be. If you're not leveraging social media, you need to be. People are making a lot of money online. We have Sharon here, baby pips in her belly. Rufaro, Olivia, Copano, the driver. It is amazing.
Let me just introduce myself in my language. Dumelang, leina la ka ke Kopano. Ke tswa Polokwane, Moleji, Lonsdale. And gone jwalo ke dula Pretoria.
We're at the Lion Park, right? Yes. We're about to show you the park drive.
Yes.
Right? Park ride?
Yes.
The park ride. So enjoy the experience. We're so excited. We have tools and resources now, applications now that you can literally make money from your phone, change your immediate lifestyle, prepare for retirement, and just meet incredible people like I've met right now.
Because for the first time since our enslavement and being ripped from our homeland, we have the ability to communicate with Black people everywhere.
And I mean, you get a family that becomes your. You cannot go on a day like, okay, let's plan. You're thinking big with a family. Look! Oh! The lions are fighting. This has been amazing here in South Africa, and the truth is now we're headed back to the airport on the way back to Atlanta. So just like that, I'm here, and tomorrow I'll be back home.
Principle number 7. Time to atone.
My name is Aymara Sawasi, and I would like to tell you about my living legacy in Ghana.
We're in Ghana, West Africa, in a place called One Africa. You have to come here to see and feel and get some of this love.
And that we have a legacy and we need to reclaim it.
We need to come together, come to Africa and see the reality and see what's going on and stop hearing the dirty white tricks what the white men be telling them about Africa.
All that negative propaganda that you hear about Africa is to keep you away from here so that you don't see the economics that's going on.
There are so many nationalities that are here right now. They wouldn't be here if the money wasn't here. They wouldn't be here if the opportunity wasn't here.
All nationalities of the world are here, and they doing business. They getting a piece of this. They investing. They bringing their families. They living here. Everybody but us.
And the same way that we built America, we're supposed to be building Africa.
All the people that are from other places already know the scoop on the motherland. I just want our people to know what's up.
My son, who does the Sankofa journey with me, moved to Ghana 9 years ago to live out what he had been learning, reclaiming the cultural and heritage of that nation.
So while we're getting a very distorted and negative view of AIDS and famine and war as the norm of what is going on in Africa, we're here living in a completely different paradigm.
We don't sleep on a tree. Look at our buildings. Look at the cars we're using. Look at the clothing we wear.
This is home. This is my high def that I was telling you about. If you have a good heart, a good idea, good intentions, and good integrity, that goes a long way in the motherland. You can have a degree and have specialized skills. That's helpful and that's good, great. You can do this, great. But the motherland wants you to just be honest, to be grounded, to be peaceful, to have the basic virtues of good character and good standing. Sometimes the media has fooled you so badly that you can't even fathom the blessing that the people have in the land that we live in unless you actually come. This is as real as I can be to get you to, to feel what I'm saying to you right now.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 1
I atone by honoring the legacy of my ancestors.
You and I are still connected to our ancestors, which means we're connected to the historical wound. If we're still connected to the historical wound, that means that African woman that was sold into slavery by African men for a trinket, you're that woman. You're the one getting off that boat. You're the one that's walking miles and miles and miles. No shoes, no protection, to be put on an auction block. You can't speak the language, but you can hear the chaos going around you. And you realize everything bad has ever happened to you was for money, for a cowrie shell, for some tobacco, for commerce. If you can walk that with me, you'll realize that your relationship to money is tarnished, is torn, it is polluted. And the survival strategies that your mother's mothers and the father's fathers, they had to use to stay alive in the institution of slavery, it shaped and skewed your relationship to money. So our ancestors, your ancestors, the one that's embodied in your flesh, in your DNA, there are memories in your body that are not your own, boo. They were passed down from your mother's mothers or the absence of your fathers. And those memories, those behaviors of being strong, of acquiescing, of getting by, or making $1 out of 15 cents, or making something for nothing, all of that came from the institution of slavery. You cannot tell me that your relationship to money is not screwed. And if you think your willpower has something to do with this, then baby girl, take the case. You don't know your history.
By this time, there should be no doubt in your mind of what white America has done to our black brothers and sisters. And so acknowledgement is that first step that we can take to begin to bring equality and healing between us whites and our black brothers and sisters. But the second step is this: we need to give back. We need to give back financially to organizations such as this that are out there to restore the very people that America built its greatness upon. And so I want to challenge specifically my white brothers and sisters that we not only acknowledge what we have done, but to give financially, to restore and give to those that have made our lives as great as they are today.
It's time for us to atone. We have to understand our money and how powerful we are. Our identity has been stolen, and our relationship with money has been tarnished. It's time to atone. The 400-year mental slavery is officially over.
When you really think about it, where on this earth, where in this world can you go to where you will be able to find an entrepreneurship museum dedicated to the history of black entrepreneurship, of the greatness of these black men and women and what they accomplished throughout their lives. So we would love for you to be a part of what we're doing to contribute to this Fuller and Dudley Museum of Entrepreneurship by simply going to www.fullerdudleyfoundation.org it gives you an opportunity to be a part of greatness, to be a part of history, to be a part of something that, your kids can get a chance to enjoy, your kids' kids can get a chance to enjoy, that you can get a chance to enjoy. Imagine being able to come down to Kernersville, North Carolina, and walking into this structure, this full inducted Museum of Entrepreneurship, and knowing that when you walk through those doors and you see this beautiful building dedicated to showcasing and preserving our people's legacy and business, that you can say to yourself that you had something to do with this.